These pedals turn more heads than Remy Metallier riding with Wade Simmons.
Remy Metallier?
Oh, what are you up to, good brother?
And I think they're from the future.
Blue, you're my boy!
I first saw these grip assassins on a video by some guy.
Because it looks super weird.
And I immediately thought, I gotta try these on my downhill bike. So what's the secret sauce behind these pedals? There are 4 things. 1, there's a giant hole in the middle. That's what turns heads. 2, they're one-sided and they're self-correcting. 3, they're asymmetrical and they're wider up front than down towards the heel. And 4, and this is the best part, the platform sits below the pedal's axle. 7 millimeters to be exact. This is a big deal. Most pedals place your foot about 6 millimeters above the axle. With a 7 millimeter drop, these pedals place your center of gravity 13 millimeters lower. I know it doesn't sound like much, but it's oh so sweet. When you hit obstacles on the trail like roots or rocks, or you need to slow down quickly, the pedals act like pendulums and swing forward and almost cradle your foot. On regular pedals, where you sit above the axle, those deceleration forces almost shove you off that pedal platform, which is why that heel down technique is so important when you're bracing. But these pendulum pedals naturally swing you down into that brace position.
This is the kind of chunk where these pedals really shine. When you kind of head into this kind of chunky rocky stuff, you just sink right in. They did such a good job. Truly a different experience on a pedal.
An added bonus of the sunken design is you can get a little bit of extra grip by pressing sideways against the axle. This is especially useful on drops and jumps. Now, I'm not an aerialist, but I swear I'm doing a little better in the air this year because I can pinch in on these.
Woo, overshot that.
The hole. These start up more conversations in the lineup than taking your dog for a walk in the park, wearing a Taylor Swift hoodie with 2 broken legs. People wonder if you can get your foot caught in the hole, and they recommend size 8 or above. I'm a size 7 and I've had no problems. What the hole does allow is for your foot to slightly flex and sink into the pedal, which adds even more grip than just the pins. It's the most locked in I've ever felt on a flat pedal.
This is another trail that really highlights just how much more comfortable I am on these pendulum pedals. There's a lot of little things to kind of knock you off your pedals along here, and you're kind of pushing and jumping into berms. It's just such a cool feeling like you're sunk into your pedals.
People also ask if I get more rock strikes because of the drop design. I don't. Now, I ride 155mm cranks on all my bikes, so maybe if you rode 170s, this would be a bit of an issue, but for me, not an issue. I think the one-sided design actually helps mitigate from that rock strike issue. First off, because they're one-sided, they're able to make them pretty thin, especially on the outer edge. Also, there are no pins on the bottom. Combine that with the beveled leading edge, and when you do have a pedal strike, it's a little less of a grippy square hit. It's a little less harsh. And yeah, even though they're one-sided, they are self-correcting. Every once in a while, I have come off the pedals and ended up placing my foot on the wrong side, but this is a rare event and really not a big deal. When it does happen, it's really easy to pop off and self-correct. And I actually find getting my foot into the sweet spot on these pedals a lot easier than any other flat pedal I've tried before. I spend way less time getting my foot into the proper position at the start of a trail. And with the one-sided design, they were able to make the shape asymmetrical. They're wider up front where your foot's the widest, and that offers great support. They're noticeably more supportive than your average pedal. Now, some of you may know, for the past couple seasons, I've been using the extra large Catalyst pedals. Those pedals are the king for support, and these pedals come really, really close, with the added benefit of far more grip. Outlier MTB, the team that dreamed these up, were started by 3 guys out of Calgary. They're riders and trail builders, and I give them huge props for getting this company off the ground.
So a lot of people complain about the price of these pedals, but I mean, listen. These guys had to engineer these things, produce them, they're selling them in small batches. Shit's expensive these days. And I gotta give these guys huge props for pulling this off. They innovated here. No one else has done this. It's so sick. And this isn't gimmicky shit either. This works.
Yeah, one downside for many people out there is these are expensive. They're $299 Canadian at the time of this filming, and that will surely price some people out. Hopefully they can bring these things up to scale so more people can afford to get onto them. But who knows? I think the best application for these pedals is on a DH bike. On a trail bike or an enduro bike, you may want to shorten your cranks by 5 or 10 millimeters, and you'll probably need to drop your seat post by a centimeter or so. On a downhill bike, you can throw them on and go. For me, riding park, I've really noticed the extra grip. They provide more stability over the jank, extra control at speed and in the berms, and an added boost of confidence in the air. I have more fun riding on these pedals, and that's what it's all about. These things are super sick. YouTube thinks you should watch this video next. I think you should watch this one.